Nico
Iamaleava.
I am a leaving a Tennessee.
I'm a leaving a Tennessee.
Is officially transferred to UCLA. We let the dust settle a bit.
Yeah.
And now we're going to do a little quick conversation.
Yeah.
Does
Nice and
Nico
quick.
have a
This might
chance
be a 2-minute video.
to turn around UCLA? And Ryan, I want to start with you because Nico is a guy. This is an interesting video for you, I think, because everyone who's watched the podcast has heard for a year plus,
Yes.
how much you love Nico.
Love Nico. Still love
Five-star
him.
quarterback. You're like, he's one of the best in the country. You're all over
Talent.
Nico.
Unbelievably
And
talented.
he's going to a UCLA team that's playing in the Big Ten with, it's a really top-heavy league. If you look at the middle of the pack, I mean, they were 5-7 last year, 3-6 in the Big Ten. There's a lot of teams in the Big Ten that won 3 or 4 games
They can hang.
or less. So I want to hear what you think. Do they have a chance to turn around UCLA? And I guess you can define what turnaround means to you.
That's my favorite thing. That's my first question. It was going to be, the word turnaround is a beautiful word,
Yeah.
Could mean somebody 1 more win, 3 more wins, national championship odds. You know what I mean?
I think of it more of as like a vibes thing.
No, yeah, but I agree. I think it'll 100% be a vibe turnaround.
Okay.
You finally they haven't had a player. DTR was good after the fact, like in his senior year. It was kind of fun when he was running around highlight tape.
He was good.
I don't know how talented he was compared to like 5 stars in like the country when you're talking about the best quarterbacks in the country. I don't think he was that high. So I think that this will be a huge turnaround for them. I think Nico's going to ball. Even last year, like Tennessee had they had a structure of running the ball and playing defense. It didn't change at all throughout the year. I didn't care who was on the team or what was going on. And hey, it worked for a majority of the year. They made the college football playoffs. They're 1 game out of the SEC championship. And they had a good year. This year, I think Nico gets just full reign. I think he's going to have a huge year. UCLA's terrible. Their offense was terrible. They were in top 50. Their defense is all right.
But I like top 100.
In their total offense?
They were 126. They were averaging 18.4 points per game.
All right, maybe they were in top 100. That means the craziest turnaround of all time incoming then. There's no way they're going to be. I think they'll be in the at least 40 range with Nico. He doesn't turn the ball over. He throws an insane ball and he runs the ball well. I like this team. Like Tyler said, it's very bottom heavy or top heavy with bottom teams being like
In the Big Ten.
all stacked. Yeah, the Big Ten all stacked in the same number. They can win 8 games this year and be like 6th, 5th. So I think Nico turns around the program just for the future momentum. Will they ever be good in this league division? No chance. But I think they'll turn around the team from being poverty joke to, hey, winning record, maybe some recruits I want to come play in
So
Los Angeles.
you love this over.
So
What's the over?
Yeah,
5.5.
what's the over? Oh.
no, I don't love
yeah.
the over. I'm saying that would be the turnaround. That's where you'd have to go for the future if they'd win.
Yeah.
But again, it's UCLA and they're terrible. But I like Nico a lot. I think he finally has a chance to do whatever the he wants instead of Tennessee. It was very strict, bad coaching. So I think it'll change around.
Yeah, so again, I was like, it depends on your definition of turnaround. Because is this team winning a national championship or going to the playoffs? No. But he'll turn it around. UCLA was 5-7 last year, and they were 3-6 in the Big Ten. Nico was the number 2 overall prospect in the transfer portal. Only one ahead of him was Carson Beck. He was a consensus 5-star quarterback out of high school, ranking 3rd overall in the 2023 class, behind only Arch and Dante Moore. So, extremely highly recruited player. We all heard about the NIL disputes that were going on at Tennessee, where he wanted more than the $2 million they were giving him, and then he ended up settling for actually a little less than that. Whole lot of drama. It'll be a case that's cited for years to come. I think this kid has a chip on his shoulder now, though. And I think UCLA in the Big Ten, specifically with this schedule, he's going to be able to prove it. What's so funny?
He just looks at me
No,
and starts laughing.
That zoom in's going to be absurd.
What was funny?
He was just giving me a side eye the whole time, and I felt some.
You're all
looking at
You
it.
felt
I'm
something,
like,
Mike?
His foot was rubbing
No,
on my knee.
he was
rubbing him up?
Enough
Damn.
about what's going on under the table.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nah.
Mike needs to calm down.
What I was going to say is Tennessee last season, you totally threw me off there. He threw for 26, 16 yards, 63% completions, 19 touchdowns, 5 picks, added 358 on the ground, and 3 touchdowns. Is he going to win the Heisman at UCLA? No shot. He's plus 8,000 to win the Heisman
no
for
shot.
a reason. You need to win a lot of games to win the Heisman. But UCLA's win total is still at 5.5. So Vegas is telling you it's plus 135. They're telling you, hey, they won 5 games last year. Their line's probably exactly 5 games for this year. I think Vegas is so wrong. I know this isn't a team thing, I'm going to quickly go through their schedule. And I broke this down. Nico's a 5-star quarterback who has a season of experience playing in the SEC and in the college football playoffs in a road game. He's now going to the Big Ten, which, again, very top-heavy league. Listen to their schedule. Home against Utah, they can win. At UNLV, they can win. I'm not saying guaranteed win. I'm saying games they can win. Versus New Mexico at home. New Mexico was 5-7 last year, and they were 3-4 in the Mountain West.
Damn.
Pure win. At Northwestern. Northwestern was 4-8 total last year, and they were below UCLA. That's a pure win with Nico. Home against Penn State, loss. At Michigan State, guaranteed win. I said more than likely win. What do you think Michigan State was last year? What record? Take a guess. Out of 12 games,
4-8.
I mean,
they were 5-7. Yeah.
Close.
I mean, so it's yes. I mean, they were the same record as UCLA last year. They have a much better quarterback. I think they can for sure win that game. Home against Maryland, arguably worst team in the country. Maryland is. They were 1-8 in the Big Ten.
they're terrible.
Last year. Probably the worst team in the Big Ten. That's a pure win. At Indiana, loss. Home against Nebraska.
Loss.
Okay, this is a weird thing with Nebraska. People also don't really know what Nebraska did last year. They were 3-6 in the Big Ten.
Tough schedule. Had to play
But
Penn State and Ohio State.
Okay, well, they lost 6 games. There's not 6 good teams in the Big Ten.
5.
Anyways, I think this is 100% a winnable game, at least. They were literally tied with UCLA record-wise. At Ohio State, loss. Home against Washington. Washington was 4-5 in the Big Ten last year. Another game, home game, think they can win. And at USC, USC was 4-10 in the Big Ten last year. I do think USC gets better. But in the last 7 games, I mean, it's kind of a coin flip back and forth. They're 3-4 in the last 7, 2 of the last 4 in the last 4 years. It's on the road, but it doesn't really matter. It's still in LA. So also a winnable game. Just looking at the schedule, I really think it's one of the easiest I've seen in the country from a maybe a not a great team that can win a lot, because there's 3 guaranteed losses, which for any of the really good championship teams typically will just hammer you on the under. But there's 3 guaranteed wins, I think, against 3 of the worst teams in the country. And there's 6 games against teams that were either a worse record than them, same record than them, or 1 game better than them last year. And they added a 5-star quarterback. So 3 guaranteed wins, 6 winnable games. If Nico plays like a 5-star experienced quarterback, dude, this team's winning 8 or 9 games. And it sounds absurd to say, but when you go through the schedule, you're starting to give them losses like at Michigan State or Nebraska or UNLV. Like, these aren't powerhouse teams. They will have the best quarterback in almost every game they play this year. All I'm saying is,
Agree with that.
I'm not going crazy on this team, but I like Nico. He'll be one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, if not like the second best quarterback in the conference. And I think this team can go way over. So side hammer bet, but I think he's turning it around.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm kind of aligning more with what Ryan said. Referencing back the fact that UCLA was averaging 18.4 points per game, which put them below the 110 ranked offense in the nation. I think this will 100% be a complete flip around in that one area. They also brought in the offensive coordinator from Indiana, who, shout out Indiana, shout out my affinity for the Hoosiers. But that offense was boasting a 41.3 points per game. Pretty sure I put them pretty high on that list, especially in terms of their conference. But I think, that pairing of Tino Sanseri as his name and Nico Iamaleava, I think it's going to do wonders for Nico's game. But, football is a game played on 2 sides of the ball. As Ryan also had mentioned, UCLA is just not a good program. They don't really have receivers. They brought in a guy from Cal. His name is Mikey Matthews. He didn't really play much ball last year. He got just under 300 receiving yards. And again, I think this team leaves a lot to be desired. I think Nico is, as Tyler said, going to be the best quarterback on the field in 90% of the games, if not 100% of the games. Is he better than Drew Lohr? Is he better than Julian Sand? Time will tell. But in terms of production in the offense, yes, 100% UCLA will flip around like you've never seen it. It's going to have you flip so hard you're going to die. And
one thing quick, I didn't know we were diving into the transfers. I do like doing that. They brought in Caden Robinson, who is a top 10 transfer wide receiver from App State. So he's
Sure.
a 4-star
Yeah, like that.
transfer. In the
Yeah,
future.
those ones are
But we were
weird to
just
me
talking about
too.
their wide receiver one. You're like, oh, from Cal. I was like, this guy's gonna be Nico's number one target.
That's fair. I also do like put a little asterisk when people are from App State where they're playing against nobody. So
App State's offense is electric.
yeah, no, their offense is great because they're playing against ghosts. But anyways, I think UCLA
Mike's
might
not
get.
familiar with App State's.
They might get. I mean, shout out the Mountaineers, right? Mountaineers, App State Mountaineers,
I feel like that name is.
App State Miners. But
Mike's
Mike's
Mike's favorite. See,
Miners.
you know when people go to their like what they know, they just go with what they know.
goes
Mike just
back
went.
home.
You just go right back home. Mike just
He
went
just
home.
got to reset the default there.
No, I just see that. Never mind.
Whoa! What do you see, Mike?
What do
you see your
see?
memories? Is
What
that
do you
just
see?
seeing your
No,
memories?
no. I see.
Eyes one shot.
I see UCLA.
Great-
Get,
great
I see
film.
UCLA getting one, maybe two more wins than last year. That's it.
And maybe 4 more minors.
No.
He just
Well, I
see-
mean recruiting.
it's what he
I
looks
guess,
for.
is technically.
Mike said it's what he looks for.
Yeah.
He's all peripheral.
Big turnaround
Yeah.
in the program.
He's
Mario,
gonna make him turn around.
You think he turns this around?
Turn around. Every now and then I get a little bit low.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
You want to sing into the mic?
Karaoke.
Bro, what the fuck?
All right.
that a yes
keep
or
going.
no?
No. Keep going.
Okay. I haven't started.
Mike smoked something before this.
No,
Yeah.
he's off a bean.
Okay. Can he turn around this program? Yes and no. Can they win more games this year? Yeah. I've ran through their schedule. It's like 6 wins to 7 wins. I think 7 is kind of like their cap. So if you look at 5 and 7 last year, now it's 7 and 5.
It's a flip.
It's a flip. They turned around.
Year.
I think they have a short window. Like they already had this offseason, and then I think next offseason they'll still have it where they can, entice recruits and transfers. Like, hey, we have Nico, we have a 5-star quarterback. I think people are really like hammering down like that label on him. Like he's a 5-star quarterback. I watched him play. I'm not saying he's not good, but I mean, there's times when 5 stars don't work out. There's times when they just end up being mid. I mean, that happens quite often.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he's one of those cases, to be honest. So I mean, they can see an improvement on the win column this year, and maybe they can ride that and be like, hey, we have a 5-star quarterback, and maybe get some more transfers. But when it doesn't really change in 2 years, and they're kind of still a 6 to 7 win team, that'll be the it
All right.
for the Nico Iamaleava show. Or
So I guess
whatever.
no one's saying playoff turnaround.
No 0%.
I think I'm probably the most
0%,
bullish on wins.
yeah.
But
Playoff
I think
turnaround,
we all
0%
like the
chance.
over. It seems at 5.5.
I
Plus
like the over.
135.
Yeah, I think they're.
I mean, he's
getting
good. There's no
undersold.
reason.
Yeah,
He
I
I
should
think they're
be
getting
fine.
undersold, but I wouldn't go crazy. I don't see 9 wins in this team by any means, but
I just need 6.
But if they win 3, we all laugh and kind of joke about it. And
If they win 3, I mean, I'm going to be
hilarious.
generational content from me on the Nico side.
Yeah.
A short,
Yeah.
once a day. Let us know what you think in the comments. How's UCLA going to do next year? How's Nico going to do? I mean, a lot of Tennessee
I think
fans.
he'll be okay.
A lot of Tennessee fans probably watching because they were heated about that whole thing. They
Yeah.
were like, this was their guy.
Stupid
And he really burned a lot of bridges. So let us know what you think. Drop subscribe if you're new here. Follow along. We're talking college football. It's really not that much longer in the offseason, to be completely
we're almost
honest.
there.
So only a couple months, and then we're in the mix. So stick with us, and we'll see you on the next one.